A reading from the prophet Isaiah for the third Sunday of Advent. The Spirit of the Lord God has been given to me, for the Lord has anointed me. He has sent me to bring good news to the poor.
In 1989, the Parliament of Canada declared war on child poverty. The target date for its elimination is the year 2000. Today, 7 years later, child poverty has increased by 46%. If this rate of increase is allowed to continue, Canada could enter the new millennium with nearly twice the number of poor children as in 1989.
He has sent me to bring good news to the poor.
To think that one Canadian child in 5 lives in poverty in one of the richest societies in world history is nothing less than a damning indictment of the present social-economic order. Priorities must change. Most often, poverty is the result of economic processes created and directed by humans.
He has sent me to bring good news to the poor.
Today in Canada, 1.5 million children live in poverty. Yet in our society, if a parent denies a child food, clothing, and social security, it is considered child abuse. But when our government denies 1.5 million children the same, it is simply balancing the budget.
He has sent me to bring good news to the poor.
Today, our federal and provincial governments are pursuing 3 objectives: to cut social spending, to reduce deficits, and to pay back our debts. But do Canadians realize the human cost of sustaining an overall national poverty rate of 17%? And if 17% of the population lives in poverty, then that means that there are 83% of us who don't live in poverty. It would seem that it is up to us to fight for change.
He has sent me to proclaim liberty to captives.
Immigrant fathers and mothers often clean office buildings all night long, then come home, grab a short rest, and go out delivering flyers. They want to spend time with their children, but they can't afford the luxury of that time. Many people have 3 part-time jobs at the same time, all at the same low skill level and all going nowhere.
He has sent me to proclaim liberty to captives.
Canada's original founding treaties with our Aboriginal peoples have been replaced with policies that remove people from their homelands, suppress their nations and their governments, and deny their children the right to know who they are. They live as captives in our own land.
He has sent me to proclaim freedom to those in prison. Today,
an astounding 38% of the Aboriginal population is under 15 years of age. Today, an Aboriginal child is more likely to go to jail than to finish high school. That same child is 5 times more likely to commit suicide than any other Canadian child. This is largely a legacy of history, of life lived under policies of assimilation. This cycle from violence to violence must end. The Royal Commission has given us a roadmap, but now we need the will to change history.
He has sent me to proclaim freedom to those in prison.
Being poor means a child may miss out on warm clothing, nutritious food, and feeling safe. A poor child is also more likely to die as a baby, to be sick, or develop physical and developmental disabilities. When poor children become adults, they are less likely to find well-paying jobs than those who have been protected from poverty. All of Canada pays the price of diminished opportunity for each child and for our future.
He has sent me to proclaim a year of favor from the Lord, the favor of the Lord who was born into poverty, the favor of the Lord who hears